Hello everyone, this is Annabella again. This video is a continuation of my last video. My purchaser has additional questions in regards to Red Velvet Joy and BTOB Sungjae relationship. In the last video, the cards mostly focus on their strongest energies, which happen to be in the past. The questions in today's video will focus on the future. We will have two separate threads for two questions. The first one is if their path would cross again in a more meaningful way in the future. The second one is about their potential future relationship, how their connection might develop over time. I will ask my deck these exact questions and see what cards would come out as the answer. Let's start with the first question, if their path would cross again. For the first card about whether their paths would cross again, we have the Six of Wands. I actually think the Six of Wands here represents their celebrity status, as both of them are in the public eye. If they do meet again, I feel like it will likely be because of their work or through connections tied to their status as celebrities. From what I understand, the K-entertainment industry has these circles, like a network of friends or colleagues within the celebrity world. Whether they like each other, don't like each other, or are indifferent, there's always that larger circle where they overlap, and within that, smaller groups and connections form. This makes it likely for their paths to cross at some point, whether it's through mutual acquaintances, events, or places commonly frequented by people in their industry. So, while it seems their connection may primarily be tied to their shared status or professional world, the Six of Wands also hints that they will still maintain some level of friendly interaction. The next card is the King of Cups. I feel like I don't have a lot to say about this card yet, but I'm pretty sure it represents Sungjae. In the last reading, the King of Cups also showed up to describe him, so it feels fitting that it's here again. The King of Cups is someone who is emotionally mature, kind, and empathetic. Essentially, a people person who cares deeply about others' emotion. Because of that, I feel like if he were to see her again, he would genuinely feel super happy. That's just the kind of personality the King of Cups embody. Warm, loving, and friendly. But depending on the next few cards, we might get a clearer picture of other factors that could influence how significant their path would cross. So let's move on to the third card. Because the question is about whether their paths would cross again in a more meaningful way, I find the Two of Swords a really interesting card to come up. The Two of Swords often represents being at a crossroads, but it also speaks to things like indecision, avoidance, blocked emotions, or even being torn between two relationships. Looking at this card as part of the bigger picture, I still think their paths will cross again, probably because of their celebrity status or mutual connection, but I don't feel that it will lead to anything deeper or more meaningful than casual meetups between friends or interactions through work. The imagery of the woman in the Two of Swords covering her eyes resonates here. It suggests that even if there were lingering emotions between them, those feelings are still blocked and will likely remain that way. Whatever emotional connection they had in the past seemed to have ended back when they were on We Got Married. For some reason, it just couldn't progress further back then, and I feel like both old reasons and new circumstances in the future will continue to create emotional distance between them. The next card is the Six of Swords, and this might tie into the new circumstances in the future that I mentioned earlier. The Six of Swords represents moving on to calmer waters, often alongside loved ones or people who are important to you. In this card, we see a family figure on the boat, which could suggest that both of them are, or will be, moving forward in their lives, possibly with other significant people. Now, I know neither of them is married the moment, but this card implies that they may each have others in their lives that they're focused on building a future with. It's like they're navigating towards stability and peace, which might not include revisiting their past connection in a deeper way. If we think about their dynamic, it could be that one of them, maybe Sungjae, given his King of Cups personality, might feel open to reconnecting in a friendly or casual way. On the other hand, the Six of Swords could suggest that the other person, perhaps Joy, is more emotionally distant or focused on moving forward with someone else. It's like she's already on the boats with someone new, whether literally or metaphorically, and has chosen to leave certain connections behind. Ultimately, this card reinforces the idea that while they might cross paths again, it's likely to remain in a light, surface level way as both seems to be moving on in their own directions. The last card for this question is the Hermit, and I feel like this card does an excellent job of wrapping up the overall energy of this spread. Interestingly, the Hermit is the only major arcana card here, which makes it feel like the definitive answer to whether their paths will cross again in a meaningful way. Unfortunately, the energy of the Hermit suggests that if they do cross paths, it's likely to remain casual and surface level. The Hermit is a card of introspection, solitude, and personal growth. It often represents someone who is focused on their own journey, looking inward for answers and prioritizing self-discovery over external connections. This fits with the idea that both individuals are currently focused on their own lives and personal paths, rather than on reconnecting with each other in any significant way. If they do happen to meet again, it's likely to be incidental, perhaps tied to their celebrity status or professional circles, rather than driven by an internal effort to rebuild a deeper connection. The Hermit reinforces that they are walking separate paths with their focus directed inward or on other aspects of their lives. In conclusion, the cards as a whole seems to suggest that while their path may cross again, it's unlikely to lead to anything more meaningful than a casual, circumstantial encounter. I hope the answer to the first question was clear. Now let's move on to the second question. If there's any potential for them in the future, how might this connection develop? From what we've already seen, I feel like the first spread gave a pretty clear indication that their connection isn't likely to develop further. So for the second question, let's treat it as more of a what-if scenario, allowing us to logically interpret the cards and see where they might take us. Even if their connection development may not be heading towards the romantic direction, a connection could still develop, right? The first card for their second question is the Hierophant, which is really interesting because the question is about the potential for a future relationship and how it might develop. Seeing the Hierophant here immediately makes me think of the circle I mentioned earlier, the celebrity circle. The Hierophant often represents group connections, belonging to a community, and the interactions that happen within. Because they're part of this larger share community, the card suggests there could be opportunities for them to strengthen their connection if the circumstances align. But I still feel like if there are other people in their lives, it will make any deeper connection unlikely at this point. The possibility may only exist within their shared group or professional space. The Queen of Wands represents someone who is vibrant, confident, and driven. She's full of passion and energy, balancing multiple responsibilities with ease. She has a magnetic personality, inspiring those around her through her determination and charisma. In this context, I feel like the Queen of Wands embodies joy in the relationship. Someone who is hardworking, career-oriented, and always pursuing her goals with enthusiasm and creativity. Her fiery and independent nature shines through in this card, making it clear how she approaches both her personal and professional life. Now, let's look at how this energy plays into the connection's potential development. One thing to note, a person's energy doesn't have to be aligned with their main zodiac sign. The Seven of Cups represents choices, opportunities, and sometimes distraction or confusion. Building on the Queen of Wands energy, this card suggests that Joy could be juggling many responsibilities and facing numerous options or paths to choose from, whether in her career or personal life. It indicates that she has a lot on her plate, and this could potentially hinder the development of a deeper connection in the future. In this scenario, it shows that the direction of the relationship could be clouded by other priorities, with no clear focus or energy being indicated to strengthening it. This doesn't mean the relationship couldn't develop, but it highlights the possibility that external factors may make it more difficult for it to progress from Joy's side. The King of Cups make a strong appearance again, and it's clear that this card continues to represent Sungjae. The King of Cups is someone who is emotionally deep, caring, and treats others with kindness. However, as I've mentioned before, he has a lot of feelings, and because of that, he tends to be very friendly and open to everyone. In this reading, it's important to recognize that the King of Cups represents Sungjae's genuine, kind nature towards Joy, but it doesn't necessarily indicate a deeper romantic connection. Looking at the dynamic between the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands, we see that water and fire can create tension as they are opposite. In this case, it suggests that while there may be mutual respect or kindness between them, they are not likely to be a couple. The contrast between their energies shows that they might not be the ideal match. Even though they could get along and support each other, this just reinforces the idea that they aren't meant to be together romantically. The final card, the Four of Cups, further reinforces the energy of the King of Cups and the emotional focus of Sungjae. It makes sense, as we've already seen two cards representing Joy in this reading, just as we had two representing Sungjae. The Four of Cups suggests that Sungjae may be emotionally distant or withdrawn at this point, as he's looking at the cups in front of him but not truly engaging with them. This implies that as we head towards the energy of the future, while he may treat Joy kindly, his emotional focus is elsewhere. He might be more interested in other things or even other people. This aligns with the overall direction of this reading, where it seems both of them are caught up in their own lives, possibly pursuing other relationships or goals that do not involve each other. The Four of Cups suggests a sense of stagnation or dissatisfaction with the current situation, and despite any kindness or respect between them, they are likely to continue living separate lives, not necessarily looking to rekindle any deeper connection. This seemed to be the potential future of their dynamic, each of them focusing on their own path and not on one another. If you are their shipper, I hope this reading didn't hurt too much. Remember that tarot reading is based on energy, and as the interpreter of these energy, I may not be 100% accurate. Please remember to be logical, have an open mind, and keep yourself grounded with the information. And again, I want to give one more big thank you to the purchaser for her generosity. If you're interested in buying a reading from me, please check out my description for my contact information or visit my Etsy store, annabellatarot.etsy.com. I also accept payment and donations via PayPal. For pricing, please see my channel's description. Feel free to leave your requests in the comments, but I will prioritize purchase readings and most popular requests that fit my interests. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day and see you next time.